up. I did my run. It rained a little bit, but we got it done. I got to get this walk done before it start raining again. If you don't know, if you don't know, we do this in the snow, we do it in the heat, and yeah, we do it in the rain. Yeah, we do. So yeah, man, if you have not yet seen that Trump address to Detroit and talking about the economics and business and the stock market and investing in the markets, you got to check it out. The only thing about that, how he is, you got to listen to a whole lot of stuff to get to the meat and potatoes. But everybody got to be investing, guys. I did a poll in my live. First of all, I'd like to thank y'all for joining me. I'm your host, and I did a poll on the live earlier. It was a quick little live, which I pretty much already knew the numbers, right? Because the economic data already tells us, the people that's, in that sector, which is investing, the economy, what's going on in the world, what's going on in America, what's going on in the White House and such, what's going on in business, all that, we already understood what the numbers were. The numbers are, and that little poll I did really is right on point with the numbers. But I'm wanting to do it again, but I'm gonna do it again when I'm at the desk and there's a lot of people in the live. That's when I'm gonna do this particular question, because I don't recall on any one of my lives when there's a lot of people in there, me asking the people. I don't recall me asking them that question. Are you an investor? Which is a great question that everybody should be asking. Everybody they love, everybody they come in contact with. If you care about somebody, guys, this right here is gonna separate what circle you think you should be in or not be in. You wanna be in a circle, hit the like button. This is gonna be short. I'm doing the walk down, but this is gonna be short and sweet, but it's gonna be straight to the point. You wanna be in a circle where you're having a conversation, not about the Houston Texans. No. Even though the Houston Texans won last night and everything's rocking and rolling, but you want to be in a circle that's talking about certain things. What are you talking about, Stock Sniper? You want to be in a circle where the question is, are you investing? Are you an investor? What have you invested in, right? Investing means a whole lot of different things. Like right now, as an example, I'm investing in my health. Investing covers a whole lot of sectors and a whole lot of territories, right? And for 70%, which those are the numbers that they came out with. The government came out with it, the banking institutions that came out with it, and now I did my own little small poll, and guess what? Those numbers matched, guys. But I thank everybody who participated in that poll and being honest. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. The thing is, the question is, why you're not investing. And a lot of times, people are not investing into the stock market because, for number one, they haven't been taught, right? Their mom don't invest, their grandpa don't invest. A lot of us are fortunate to have stocks passed down, and for so long, take it from the OG, for so long, right? That stuff was a secret to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? To a certain sector of people, investing, participating in your company's 401k plan, getting a retirement account, and basically putting money in your retirement account every time you get paid, every month, every week, every year, throughout the decades. A lot of people, they're not programmed like that. And that's what's so great and so wonderful about this internet. You know what I'm saying? We have the ability to speak and talk about investing, to speak and talk about your company's 401k plan, how important it is to learn a skill that you love, how important it is to learn a skill where you can get on at a great company that has benefits, right? I've ran into people, guys, that regular working Americans, right, that don't even know what a 401k plan is. Don't even know what the benefits are. I know people that avoid the 401k plan and the benefits because they're gonna take such and such out of their check. You know what I'm saying? And that is a mindset, guys. You know what I'm saying? Being broke is the way you think. Being broke is the way you are raised. Being broke is the company that you keep. Being broke is having a closed mind, not being able to think outside of the box, right? Being broke is a circle of people who you're around. You know what I'm saying? Being broke is not a dollar amount, guys. It's not. Listen to the OG. Being broke, as most of us are taught, being broke is not a dollar amount. It's not. It's not. It's not a dollar amount. It's the way you think. It's the way you move. And it's the way you teach your kids and grandkids and the people that you love. It's a movement and it's a mindset. That's exactly what it is. It's the way you think. It's your foundation. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And most people have a broken foundation. But guess what? The good news is, I don't care what you think, you know what I'm saying, about whoever. But guess what? One thing you can say about Donald Trump, if you listen, he is giving everybody an economic, one-on-one financial literacy class just about every single time he's on TV. I want y'all to understand this very, very clearly. You know what I'm saying? If you are able to get your feelings out of the way and take notes and pay attention to what that man be saying, like today was a straight economic plan that no president, I don't care if you like him or not, no president speaks like that. That right there is family secrets, right? That right there is family secrets, and secrets that they really didn't want majority of us to know. You think that some of these people want us participating in the 401k plan? They want to keep us spending money. They want to keep us spending all our money. That's what they want to keep. But guess what? When you are investing in, and you're participating in the stock market, long term, I had somebody tell me that the stock market is too slow, the money is too slow. But at the same time, that person is struggling, right? You're spending money on the same things that you don't need instead of taking that money and putting it into the stock market. This person told me this 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, guys. It was longer, yeah, about 5 years ago. Told me that investing into the stock market is too slow and they ain't with it. But you're not paying attention to, I understand that way of thinking, chat, because a lot of people wasn't raised, and it wasn't raised in participating in the 401k plan. They wasn't raised in buying stocks. Nobody above them, none of their family members, none of their ancestors, none of their parents ever left them stocks. None of their parents ever left them any real estate. None of their parents, more importantly than that, gave them the knowledge on what to do. Gave them the knowledge, hey, you're not going to buy this, you're going to buy that. You're not going to do this, you're going to do that. Okay, you want to do this? Then you got to do that. No direction, right? No foundation as far as being responsible, right? And that's the major gap right there, guys. The major gap is not rent going up. The major gap is not eggs going up. The major gap is that the investing part of it. Because guess what? If you are participating in your company's 401k plan, if you're buying shares of your favorite companies that we know, like, and trust, and you're holding them long term, and your foundation is your job, right? Your skill, right? Your skill is the foundation. and you use that skill and that foundation, you put it together to a plan of what you have learned, and you participate in the company 401k plan. You learn about IRAs. You learn about retirement accounts. You learn about companies in the stock market. You learn about the S&P 500. You learn about these things, and then you understand that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You learn about Bitcoin. You understand everything that goes. You know what I'm saying? You add another side, another income to whatever you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Then you just keep on doing what you do every single day. Like I exercise every single day. Same thing. You go to work every day, knowing that, hey, every single week, every single month, something is coming out of my check going straight to the 401k plan. It's called benefits. And you build on it. And guess what, guys? With the power of the internet, with the power of these things that we got in our hand, it's unlimited. It's unlimited information, unlimited knowledge, unlimited, guys. And what's going on right now in 2026? You know what I'm saying? Trump, most people are going to get big income tax checks. I had 60% of almost 70% of the people in that live that I did about an hour ago. 70% of them said they don't have no investments. Well, if you're on this live right now and you're one of the 40, I'm giving you right now what you should do. Today you can change that. How can you change that, Stock Sniper? Start educating yourself. Start educating yourself about investing. You know what I'm saying? It don't take but 5 seconds to Google investing. What is an asset? You know what I'm saying? What is a liability? And once you start doing that and writing notes down and educating yourself about investing, it don't cost a dime to learn about long-term investing. I'm not talking about day trading. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about long-term investing. I'm talking about participating in the company 401k plan. I'm talking about learning about all these things that basically they're talking about right now. You could go from the 70% to the 30% in 5 minutes. And that's my goal. Investing is not only buying a stock. Investing is not only buying an 18-wheeler and going to work. Investing is not only buying real estate. Investing is not only buying Bitcoin. Investing also is in your education. Education is an investment. Education is a major investment. Your health is a major investment. Your mental health is a major investment. Who you spend your time with, who you watch on YouTube, who you spend your real life time with is an investment. And I challenge everybody in 2026, your circle, the people you love, don't ask them when the last time they watched The Young and the Restless. Don't ask them did they watch the football game last night. Don't ask them none of those questions because none of those questions matter. Ask them the main question. What is that question, Stock Sniper? Are you an investor? Ask your family at the dinner table tonight. Are you an investor? Right? Ask your best friend. Are you an investor? And if the answer is no, guess what we need to do? You need to change that. Well, Stock Sniper, we don't know anything about investing. We don't know anything about all that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. What do you know about it? Right now, you're on YouTube, right? We on the internet. Most of us on Apple phones or Android. You know, most of us, if you're on the computer, you know, you're on Google, which owns YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Most of us have Apple phones. Most of us use Amazon. Most of us use DoorDash and Uber. Most of us drink Coca-Cola, even though that Coke is bad for your health. They got over 35 grams of soda in it. And guess what? If you drink sodas every single day, it's going to affect your health. And guess what? You have a strong possibility, 50% chance that you will become pre-diabetic if you drink Coca-Cola sodas every single day, every single week. But that's another topic. But yes, Coca-Cola. I like Coca-Cola. I like McDonald's. I go buy gas at the Chevron, Exxon, right? We just got through talking about oil, Venezuelan oil. All that is about assets. You know what I'm saying? It's not about money. It's about assets and power. But guess what, guys? You like real estate, but you don't want to invest money. They got real estate they call REITs, real estate investment trusts. You know what I'm saying? That you can learn about, that you can invest in your favorite malls, CVS, all these different type of businesses and companies that we spend our money with every single day. The only thing is, you got to come out of that 70%. You got to stop wanting to be a consumer, because guess what? It's only two things. Either you're a consumer or you're an investor. One of the two. That's the only two. So if you're not an investor, you're a consumer. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The consumer has the power. Why, Stock Sniper? Because you know everything about the product. You know how good the McDonald's burger tastes. You know how good the Jack and the double quarter pounder with cheese tastes. You know how good, whatever the case may be. You know how good the Coke tastes. So why not, chat? Why not start investing? All it takes is one share at a time, 1 to 2. Start small. Stay down till you come up. Because guess what? That's what's going on, chat. That's what's going on. And maybe you was not taught about stocks and 401k plans. It's very, very simple. You as a consumer, us as consumers, already have 50% of the work done. And then the other 50% is right here on the phone. When I first was introduced to the stock market, when I first was introduced to investing and buying these companies that I know, like, and trust, guys, it was no phone. It was none of that. It was no apps and stuff that you could go and buy and see what's going on with the stock market. It was none of that. Guess what you had to go find that information out of? That let you know how old I am. A newspaper. You had to go to the brokerage account. Shout out to TD Ameritrade. You had to go and buy. You had to place your order with those great people over there, whatever brokerage you was with. And then guess what? They was charging fees. If you buy a stock, you got to pay a price. Now, majority of these brokerage accounts and majority of these companies, shout out to TD Ameritrade, which is now Charles Schwab. You pay hardly no fees when you buying a stock. No, hardly none. You just download it on your phone and learn how to work it. And guess what? Just like that, you become an investor. But 70% of the people, we got to get y'all from 70%. And the quickest way is to start investing yourself and start educating yourself today. Start educating. Start learning about the stock market and taking notes. And then sit at the dinner table instead of watching Young and the Restless. You know what I'm saying? Instead of watching the NBA basketball tonight. Instead of watching Netflix, which is a great company, by the way. Shout out to Netflix. I was able to pick up my shares that a lot of people that's been on this chat understand that investment that I made in Netflix way back when. And now because of the reverse split, I was able to start picking up shares of Netflix at the price that I had it at a long time ago. But what I did a long time ago, I made one of my only mistakes. I can't even call it a mistake. It was a learning experience because I was really, really young. I had 100 shares of Netflix, and I sold them, early. I sold them because I had to take care of some business. I did not have an emergency fund like I speak on all the time. You gotta have an emergency fund. But I didn't have an emergency fund. I was putting all my eggs, basically in one basket. And one of the companies that I had to sell was Netflix. Netflix was real small back then. But thank God that I stayed down till I came up. And guess what happened? I was able to get those shares back, chat. How you was able to get those shares back, Stock Sniper? What fortunate that happened is that when Netflix hit 1,200, they did what is called a reverse split. So they reverse split, they made out, which makes more shares out to the public, and I was able to pick up those same shares that I sold 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago. I was able to pick them shares up. But guess what, chat? The same price that I bought them at long time ago when Netflix wasn't nothing. So I got blessed because I stayed down till I came up. If I'd have been shook and if I would have quit, I would have never got blessed like that. And if I would have never stayed down till I come up, if I didn't have my brokerage account already rocked, ready to roll, I would not have been able to get blessed and get my shares back. And that's what happened, but that's a whole nother story. But guys, what we got to understand, just like another thing that's happening is that people that's having newborn kids, a lot of people don't know that. Your kid is automatically blessed with a investment account with $1,000 in it already. So if you got a newborn kid, if you got a small kid, you know what I'm saying, you got to go to trumpaccounts.org for more information and check it out. You know, they're giving investment accounts to all kids. That is a huge investment. That is a huge thing. That right there, in my opinion, chat, is one of the best things that they could have done. Besides the opportunity zones, those investment accounts for kids, guys, done properly, will set your kids up to be in a whole nother income bracket by the time they're 25 and 30 years old. We have to realize, we got to understand this, guys. A lot of people are worrying about the wrong things. Most people are not even talking about these investment accounts. Don't sleep on those investment accounts. They're giving your kid a $1,000 investment account that anybody can add to, right? And then that account is specifically hooked up to the S&P 500, which is 500 of the best companies in the world. The Amazons, the Nvidias, the Apples, the Coca-Colas, on and on and on, the Googles. Shout out to YouTube. If you got a YouTube channel and you on YouTube, there's no way you shouldn't be buying, you shouldn't own shares of Google. There's no way. If you love Netflix, if you love DoorDash and Uber, there's no way you shouldn't be investing. And the good thing about it, guys, the best thing to do is when you start investing, look at it long term, right? When you look at it long term, then it's like a savings. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, 15 years been passed, 20 years done passed. And then you have the mindset of, okay, this is not for me. This is for my kids and grandkids. That is powerful, guys. A lot of people know that I'm retired, right? I've been retired for almost 5 years. I retired before I turned 50. The reason why, make sure y'all understand this very properly. The reason why a lot of people know I'm a retired truck driver, that's not the reason why I was able to retire. The reason why I was able to retire, get this chat, because my grandfather, my great-grandfather, who I talk about all the time on this channel, left us investments, passed down shares of stocks that not only passed down to me, but guess what? I'm also with the same mindset. It's not for me, it's for my kids and grandkids. All my job is to add on to it. That right there, guys, is the big secret. But the secret is out, right? With the development of the internet, all you gotta do is change the way you think and stay down till you come up, right? Stack money, act broke. Stack shares of stock and act broke. That's all you gotta do. And then build off to other things. That's how it works. But then you gotta have the mindset that it's not for you. It's for your kids and grandkids. That's why I say that all the time on this channel. Just about every day. Earn, spend less, make proper investments. Teach it to your kids and grandkids. Teach it to the people in your circle. Sometimes you gotta change your circle. Teach it to your people in your circle, because guess what? If you're doing that, you wanna be around people that's doing the same thing, because y'all can bounce off one another. You can have the conversations of, are you an investor? Yeah, I'm an investor. What are you investing in? What are you looking at? What you got going on? That's how you build. That's how you grow. That's how you're able to go from nothing into something. And then you have the mindset of long term, that I'm gonna pass it down to my kids and grandkids. That's how it works, guys. And guess what? Well, Stock Sniper, I'm not as fortunate as you. My grandfather, my great-grandfather, my mom and daddy ain't never left me shit. Well, that should be your motivation. Start right now. That should be your motivation to change the circumstances. I know once I'm gone, which was embedded in me by my parents and great grandparents. While I'm gone, when I'm gone, I want my kids and grandkids to be financially set. I want my daughters and my grandkids, my daughters, to be in the position. Shout out to University of Texas. I want my daughters to be in the position that they could do. If they want to keep working, keep working. If you want to retire, retire. I could have kept driving trucks, but I chose to retire, right? And that's the position that we want to put ourselves in. That's called freedom. It feels so good, and it's so good on your mental health when you are doing, if you want to work the job, make sure you love what you're doing. Make sure you're loving it and making sure everything is taken care of. Make sure you're participating in the 401k plan. Make sure you're staying down till you come up. Make sure you stashing shares of stocks to the side for your kids and grandkids. Make sure you're putting land and other assets to the side. And then the main thing is you're teaching it to them. Like I said earlier, education is the most powerful thing. You sit them at the table and you have a conversation with them. Like a lot of y'all know how my parents used to do me. I wasn't getting Jordans. My mama, my daddy, my grandfather, they wasn't buying me no Jordans. You know what they were doing? They were buying me shares of Nike for my birthday, for Christmas. They were buying me shares of Nike and they were buying me workout equipment. That's why I put the work in right now. And guess what? When I was a kid, guys, and all my friends were getting Nikes, all of them was getting polos and jabos. I had friends that had lines of Jordans in the damn closet. Every single time a pair of Jordans come out, guess what? They had them. And my mama and my daddy and my grandpa, you ain't getting no Jordans. That stuff don't matter. You're gonna do this, 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 this. And yes, my lip used to be sticking out because everybody had the best. Well, I thought at that time that they had the best of everything. And all I had was a share of stock, a Nike, or whatever the case, or Coke. I had that type of stuff and go in the room and go lift weights, go run, go to karate class, go to wrestling class. But guess what? That made me, and today, a lot of those guys are either over there on MLK right now, smoking a cigarette, talking blue to blam, or they're in prison, right? Or they're still trapped in the system, which is a consumer. One of the three things, right? So that's how, maybe not that harsh, you know what I'm saying? Because my parents and grandparents come up under the old law, right? Which is, I say it all the time on this channel, stack money, act broke, you know? But then, if you're a kid, you know what I'm saying, you have to, your parents have to be teaching you and guiding you on how it goes. Got to be teaching you and guiding you about becoming an investor instead of a consumer. See, in 2020, 2010, 2025, and 2026, they want us to be consumers. No. And the wealth gap is getting farther apart, right? It's getting farther apart, guys. We got to understand that. And guess what? Today is the day that you switch over. You leave the right side of America and you come over to the left side where there's investing. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody is trying to help one another out. Everybody is sharing investment strategies, business strategies, health strategies. You know? Nobody's talking about bullshit and bubble gum. If we are talking about bullshit and bubble gum, it's bibble babble for a little bit. 80% of the time is about building for the family and concentrating on the kids and the grandkids, concentrating on the people that we love. And then once you're able to do that, right now, teach it to everybody around the world. And all it takes is a mindset and a way of thinking. Broke is the way you think. It's not a dollar amount. A lot of people say, well, he ain't got no money, he broke to certain situations. Broke is not a dollar amount. I'm broke right now. I ain't got nothing in my pockets. You know what I'm saying? See, we got to think a little bit differently. It's about how you think. It's about how you move. And that's how you put the work in. It's about how you teach your family structure in your household. That's what it's about, right? Because guess what? Once you have the foundation and the will of staying down till you come up, and if anything, something does happen, guess what? You got the backbone. And not just only you have the backbone, your whole family structure, your whole foundation has a backbone. That's what it is, guys. That's what it is. And it starts with investing. And again, investing is more than the stock market. Investing is education. Investing is the company that you keep. Investing is how you spend the majority of your time. Investing is who you rock with. Investing is the type of friends in the company that you roll with. Sometimes you got to cut them off. You know, if I'm sitting in a circle of friends or family members and we're not talking about investing in the conversation, I got to go. If we're not talking about investing, if we're not talking about health, if we're not talking about what we're teaching the kids, I got to go. Straight up. That's how we got to rock. That right there is a 3-step process, and it's called earn, spend less, make proper investments, teach it to your kids and grandkids, teach it to the people in your circle, and teach it to the world. With that being said, I'm out, guys. It's the one and only Stock Sniper. I hope I put something on your mind. I hope I put something on y'all mind. And if you are in that 70%, change it right now. Change it right now by educating yourself. Get off this live. Go to Google and start asking Google investing questions and write it down. You already know what companies to buy. What companies to buy, Stock Sniper? The companies you already know, like, and trust. The only thing is, it's for my grandkids. That's what it's for. I'm not trying to hold it for a week or a month. This is to create generational wealth that I could pass down to my grandkids, where I could pass down whoever, where you could pass down to your downline, to make your downline in a better position when God call you home. And with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. Everybody that's been rocking with the channel, I love and I appreciate y'all. Everybody that's been commenting, this live was not about reading the comments. This live was about pushing out a direct message. 70% of Americans are not investing. We have to change that right now. And that is the purpose of this live. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. Till tonight, earn, spend less, make proper investments. Teach it to your kids and grandkids. Teach it to the people in your circle. And then teach it to the world. I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. To the next one, I'm out.